Good morning, Falcons fans. My name is Patrick Seals, and welcome to the recap of how disappointing the Atlanta Falcons were for the season of 2021 to 2022. It is wild card weekend here in the state of Georgia, and sadly, the Falcons shall not be playing. They shall not be playing this weekend or for the rest of the season because we got eliminated week 15 of the season against the Bills. We are 7-10 on the season. We hold the 8th pick in the NFL draft. And I'm going to recap how disappointing the Atlanta Falcons are. But before I go any further, I have to congratulate those Georgia Bulldogs for winning the national championship. Best football team in the state of Georgia, period. That 21-21 team for the Georgia Bulldogs, the best football team I've ever seen. Kelly Ringo's pick six will be the best pick six of my life. For a long time, I thought Robert Alford's pick six in Super Bowl 51 against Tom Brady was the best pick six, but it can't be because we lost that game. So Kelly Ringo's pick six to seal the deal for Georgia Bulldogs will always and forever be the best pick six I've ever seen in my life. Now, back to these Atlanta Falcons. What I've done is I've asked my gurus, I've asked them who they thought was the most disappointing player for the season. And I'm going to start that off now. Uncle Mike from Grovetown said the head coach is the most disappointing player of the season. Big Walt from Atlanta said Ridley for giving up is the biggest disappointment of the season. Ant Driver, he named Calvin Ridley, Mike Davis, Matt Ryan, the entire Falcons defensive line for getting less than TJ Watt in sacks. TJ Watt had 22.5 sacks on the season. The Falcons only had about 17 sacks on the season. We didn't have anybody who had double-digit sacks, as you can imagine. Leon from Hetzler said the GM and coaching staff are the most disappointing first year, but he's not impressed. Jacob Berry from Stockbridge said Calvin Ridley, Mike Davis, and Dante Fowler Jr. are the most disappointing players of the season. Sammy from Stockbridge said Calvin Ridley, no telling how the season would end up if he would have played for us the whole season. DC from Stockbridge said Mike Davis is the most disappointing player. Jacob Brunson had said Dion Jones is the most disappointing player of the season. Curtis Wood said effing Calvin Ridley is the most disappointing player of the season. And of course, I think Deion Jones is the most disappointing player of the season. This is a guy who started off as a rookie, getting a pick six on Drew Brees. He had multiple interceptions on Drew Brees, now that I think about it. And for the majority of his career, he's been a standout linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons. He did have a broken fibula in the year 2018 season, but of course he did come back stronger. He got a pick six against the Cardinals quarterback and helped us win that game, coming back for the season on us. But this year, he's been a complete letdown, man. Deion Jones has been a complete letdown on the same year where Devondre Campbell, a former Atlanta Falcons, got a all-pro nod this year, man. He made the all-pro team this year. First team all-pro, Devondre Campbell. Congratulations to him, former Falcons. And we let him go in favor of Deion Jones. And you see the product that Deion Jones had for us with multiple missed tackles. He had a missed tackle on every running back. Tom Brady, it didn't matter. Deion Jones is my most disappointing player of the season. And my level of disappointment for the season, it has to be at a 7. It has to be, even though I predicted us to have a losing record for the season, but it has to be the same number of wins that we have. That's my level of disappointment. It's a 7. Oh man, this season, we can wash this season real quick. And of course, the worst game of the season has to be the game against Cowboys. Has to be the game against Cowboys. Cowboys game was the most disappointing game of the season for me because I talked to a lot of trash family members. A lot of trash coming off the game against the Saints. I was hot. I was ready. And the Falcons, they just folded on me. They let me down. They didn't put up a fight at all. They just scored a touchdown. They had 3 points in the whole entire game. And we rolled over and died. We let the Cowboys beat us up and stomp us out. And that was pretty much the historical mark of our season. That's pretty much our season summed up in one game. So the Dallas Cowboys has to be the most disappointing game for me. The worst play of the season has to be one of Matt Ryan's pick six against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He threw the same pick six to the same guy. So you can pick either one of those plays. That's my most disappointing play of the season. Is Matt Ryan's 2 pick sixes for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. He had 2 pick sixes on the season against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I got 11 predictions right and I got 6 predictions wrong, making me a 65% accurate rate on predicting whether the Falcons going to win or lose a game. So I must say, I got quite a bit of knowledge on these Atlanta Falcons. I must say, if I say so myself, I shall say that we suck. And I predicted us to. I got it right 11 times out of 17, and it gave me a 65% chance of getting the prediction right that I picked. Now, these stats on the season, I ain't gonna lie, these stats are pathetic. These are some of the worst stats I've seen the Falcons produce in a long time. Matt Ryan didn't even have over 4,000 passing yards this season. He took a step back this season, of course. We didn't have anybody rush 4,000 yards, of course, but Cordell Patterson did combine rushing and receiving for over 1,000 yards. Cordell Patterson had 618 yards rushing, and he had 548 yards receiving. So, and he's the only player to have double-digit touchdowns. And of course, he had 6 rushing touchdowns and 5 receiving touchdowns to give him 11 touchdowns total. Cordell Patterson, without you, brother, who knows? Who knows what this team would look like? And see, the thing about it is he had the same amount of touchdowns that Julio Jones did in his second season. So do with that information as you would. Our highest receiving was, of course, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts had 1,000 receiving yards. He had 1,026 receiving yards, and he only had 1 touchdown. I ain't gonna lie. That 1 touchdown, it aggravates me a lot because it's the same problem that Julio Jones faced a lot in his career in Atlanta. And I do not want that for Kyle Pitts. I do not want that to be a blemish on his record. Everybody, he didn't have that many touchdowns, but he's amazing on the field. He garners a lot of attention. Defenders know once you get in that red zone, you have to double, triple team Kyle Pitts because he's a tall dude and he's an easy target. His 1 touchdown was, of course, in the red zone. So when we get in the red zone, teams are triple coverage him because we have nobody else that needs attention other than Kyle Pitts. Calvin Ridley missed, he was only there for 5 games, so he missed 12 games. And Cordell Patterson, as good as he is, you know what I mean, in that red zone, he's only going to line up in the running back position. Or maybe he might go out for a pass, but even still, you know what I mean, this season, these stats, they are not what you would want them to be. Kyle Pitts had 68 receptions. He had the most receptions on the year for the Atlanta Falcons. And of course, he had the most targets on the year with 110 targets, the most any Falcon receiver had for the year. And he made the most of them. He had 15.1 yards a catch. And he made the most of those catches that he did make. Matt Ryan, like I said, he took a step back. He only had 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. This is his highest amount of interceptions he's had in a while, and the lowest amount of touchdowns he's had, I'll probably say, since his rookie season. He hasn't had this low number of touchdowns since his rookie season in 2008. I might be wrong in that. I'm pretty sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And of course, he had 40 sacks. He got sacked 40 times this season. Matt Ryan was a crash test dummy for all the defenders that he played against this year. They beat up on him something bad. He got sacked 40 times, but that doesn't tell the true story of how many times he was hit, knocked to the ground, and just had his passes interrupted by defenders. Those tips that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive lineman made in the Week 2 game. So just all around, Matt Ryan had a tremendous step back of a season. He did not meet his standards of play this season. And of course, his offensive line didn't give him any help because he had 40 sacks. He got sacked 40 times. And on offense, Young Wei Koo scored the most points on our team. He scored 111 points. And of course, he's a kicker. And I don't know. I just have a problem with a kicker being our highest producing scorer of the season. Now, granted, Matt Ryan did have 20 touchdowns. And Young Wei Koo, I don't know how many field goals he had, but he had 111 points. The second person was, of course, Cordell Patterson. He had 66 points because he had 11 touchdowns. Our offense took a step back. Our entire team took a step back this year. And it shows in the stats. These numbers, they shall not lie. Dante Fowler Jr. had the highest number of sacks for us for the season. He had 4.5 sacks, which is terrible. That's terrible. It's not even 5 sacks. It's not even half of 10. That's terrible. He had half a sack that got him, Dante Fowler Jr. This big free agent signing who turned out to be a dud. I don't know why the Falcons continue to spend money on these washed up defensive linemen. But of course, he was the highest point on that defensive line. He had 4.5 sacks, and anybody else probably had 1 or 2 or half a sack. So A.J. Terrell and Foy Oluokun tied for the most interceptions on the season, each of them having 3 interceptions on the season. And of course, A.J. Terrell having 16 pass deflections on the season. And of course, him being named second All-Pro to Josh Harris being named second team All-Pro. A.J. Terrell being a bright spot on our team, and Foy Oluokun being there right with him, having 3 interceptions. And of course, Foy Oluokun had the most tackles for any linebacker, for any defender on the season. In total, his ESPN stat reads 192, but his total solo tackles read 102. So do with that information what you shall do with it. I don't care. Our defense, pretty much, they've been playing like this for, I'll probably say, at least since 2018. Our defense has been playing at the same terrible level that they've been playing at, so I can't really be disappointed at them. It's just a constant level of disappointment from them, so I'm not any more disappointed or any less disappointed because they've been playing the same as they always been playing for the past 5 or 4 years. Now, the Falcons averaged 18.4 points a game, while they gave up an average of 27 points a game. We had 218.4 passing yards a game, while we gave up 232.5 passing yards a game. We averaged 85.4 rushing yards a game, and we gave up 131.9 rushing yards a game. So in total, we gained 319.9 yards a game, and we gave up 373 yards a game, man. This defense is, our team, it took a step back looking at how our offense performed compared to what our defense allowed other offense to perform at. This is not what you would want from your football team. You would not want them to perform at this level, and there's no way you can have any type of hope or optimism for them. Now, of course, we do have the number 8 seed in the NFL draft, but how far does that get us? That's just 1 pick. We still have 6 more picks in the draft to get. I could be wrong on that. Somebody will let me know. But it all starts in the draft, man. We have to draft good. We have to draft at position that we need, take the talent that's available, and forget all the noise, man. We just do what's best. I'm not a draft guru. Now, of course, I talk all this noise about the Falcons being disappointed and trash, but I say that because I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. I say that as an Atlanta Falcons fan, not as somebody who can judge these NFL players' level of skill, because I've never played in the NFL. I've never put on a helmet, never taken a snap in the NFL, so who am I to say that these players suck with their talent? What I say is they disappoint me on how they play on the field. Now, I know their level of talent, and that's why I say I'm disappointed in the Atlanta Falcons. Hence why this YouTube series was started. Now, thank y'all for joining me on this journey, man. It's been a long journey. It's so hard to say goodbye, but like all things, they must end so we can look back and enjoy them. In this 21-22 season, we're not gonna pretty much remember this. The only reason I shall remember this because I started my YouTube series with this season. But for anything else, I shall not remember the season. This is a season to forget real quick. So, shouts out to Ace Cole for giving me the soundtrack of the season. Shouts out to the Falcons for giving me YouTube content to create. I got 134 subscribers as of this video. Thank y'all for everybody who subscribed in the past 3 months. I done had 35 plus subscribers in that time frame, so thank y'all for that, man, for getting me to that threshold. Y'all go check out my celebration video to the Georgia Bulldogs win the championship. That's my most popular video I got going right now. It's still doing numbers right now. Go check that video out, man. Y'all subscribe to my comedy page, the Comedy Hustle LLC Patreon. Subscribe to my Patreon, the Comedy Hustle LLC. Link should be in the bio. I'm Patrick Seals, man. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.